What's going on, guys? This is Chris Westmoreland coming up with another video for you guys. I just want to apologize that the Canyonlands video never made it to YouTube. I know that I posted pictures on Facebook of the video going together and promised it, and it never kind of came through. Unfortunately, it was just about ready to export. It was all rendered and ready to go, but my wife's computer got a virus and it corrupted my file. So I just never got the motivation to redo it, but hopefully now that we're here in Texas and it takes us quite a while to get out and explore, maybe I'll have time to go through and redo that for you guys. But in the meantime, I found it a whole lot easier to take small videos on my phone and edit them and put them on YouTube. I really don't like the whole video editing process and exporting. So here's a quick video for you guys talking about my AR build here. This is a video that I've wanted to do for a really long time because there's not a whole lot of options for left-handed shooters, especially in the AR platform. The only two manufacturers that I know of who build left-handed ARs is Rock River Arms and Stag Arms, and I went ahead and went with the Rock River Arms because of their quality. The Stag Arms was much cheaper, and a lot of people tried to talk me into that, but I was willing to pay the money for a Rock River and then wait a few months to get it, because of course no one's going to have this rifle in stock on their shelves. You're going to have to order it. But I just want to make this really quick video from the top of my toolbox and kind of talk about the features of the Rock River left-handed AR and kind of what I did to it to help kind of meet my standards. I kind of just want to work from the front of the gun, and then we'll work the way back, and hopefully I'll cover everything that I want to tell you about. So, starting from the barrel. Rock River Arms uses this, on their Operator series, uses this muzzle brake instead of your traditional bird cage, and I hope that's focusing. I really like it. Compared to a bird cage, it actually seems to reduce recoil. You may find that different, but for me, that's what I see. The barrel itself is a 16-inch 1-in-9 twist, forged chrome-lined barrel. It's mil-spec, but it is a left-handed twist, which I found really interesting. It's the only rifle that I know of that comes with a left-handed twist. So I was told that that's so that the rifle can cam properly for the left-handed shooter. This rifle came from the factory as the Rock River Arms left-hand tactical operator. So that has a carbine length gas system. There's a mid-length option available. I decided to go with the carbine length just because I know sometimes if you're using cheaper ammo or the quality's not so good, carbine lengths have been known just to be a little bit more reliable. I know that mid-length and rifle gas systems work excellent, but just for this platform, I decided to go with the carbine length gas system. Anyway, we got the Magpul, pretty standard front flip-up sights that everyone has. Moving on down the barrel, well, I guess we'll come to my optic here. This is the EOTech, I believe it's the EOTech 518. I like it because it sits a little bit higher. It's on this riser here. Gives you a little bit better field of view. I love it. I got the double dot, so it's got your standard circle with the single dot in the center, and then it has a dot below it, which is for 500 yards. Before I had the magnifier on there, you know, it would be rather difficult with no magnification to hit anything at 500 yards. But I knew that eventually I would want to go to a magnifier, so I went and got that second dot option. And that brings us to the magnifier. It took me a long time to try and track down a decent magnifier that would flip to the left side. You may find this funny. Maybe some right-handed shooters will say, we'll stop being such a pussy and shoot just a regular rifle. But for those of us who have shot left-handed, or who do shoot left-handed, shoot right-handed rifles left-handed, you know that if you shoot suppressed, that you eat a whole lot of gas. Also, you can catch some stray shells in your glasses, in your t-shirts, in your gear, and it can be uncomfortable. So, not settling for a right-handed rifle, I would recommend it. But anyway, the magnifier. This is a Samson. It's a 3.5 time magnifier. It's also gonna run, I believe, just a little bit larger diameter. It's a 35 millimeter diameter compared to your standard aim point, which is a 30 millimeter. I went with the Samson for a few reasons. I really like the mount, and I'll demonstrate the mount really quick here for you guys, but it's a quick flip mount, which I was really attracted to, and it's a quick disconnect, much like the EOTech. If I wanted to rip these suckers off real quick and use my iron sights, I could. So I was extremely attracted to that feature. Also, as far as sight picture, the Samson, there's a couple of other reviews out on YouTube you can find, but the Samson by far beat the aim point in clarity, and it surprisingly is a fair amount cheaper. I believe I paid about $300 for that magnifier, and about $500 for that optic up front. Forgot about that earlier, but there you go. Also, one thing that kind of attracted me to the Samson as opposed to other magnifiers is that the windage and elevation adjustments, they're not knobs. On the EOTech magnifier and on some of the other ones like your Vortex, they're going to be knobs, which is okay, but if you have it on a sling, those knobs have been known to move when they brush up against you. You know, if you're wearing maybe a flak jacket or a backpack or something, it brush up against you and it ruins your windage and elevation. Which I kind of like how these are shaved. You have to use a screwdriver, not a big deal for me. And I know that they're not going to move. I'm trying to think anything else I want to talk to you about the Samson. I think that's about it. Moving on. The Rock River Arms comes with a chrome-lined bolt carrier. This is the first AR I've had with a chrome-lined bolt carrier, and I feel like just even racking it, it feels smoother and crisper compared to your normal mil-spec bolt carrier, and I like it a lot. It cleans up fantastically. You know it's clean. Anyway, that's probably as much as I can say about that, but it's fantastic. I would highly recommend it. Moving on down the gun, I put these K&S anti-rotating trigger pins in. I don't know if you can see them. You don't really need these. The idea behind them is that it keeps the trigger pins from rotating and wearing out the lower receiver. It's more of an issue on fully automatic weapons, I hear. Some people use them, with NFA rifles because, especially if it's fully automatic, they're not producing any more of them. You have to have one produced before, 1986, and they're not making any more. So a lot of people use these in those types of weapons so that the receivers don't wear out. And I kind of want to do the same with mine. Not that mine's an NFA item by any means. Anyone can own this weapon, I guess, unless you're in New York or California. But I wanted to keep it that way because I want to pass this weapon down in my family, and I want to keep it as in good condition as I can. Also, potentially, if we ever do go into an assault weapons ban, you can't see my fingers, but those quotation marks, the assault weapons ban, this receiver will still be good. If there's ever a point in time where, it's illegal to buy a receiver, buy an AR, I know that my receiver will still be good. Just a little bit of extra insurance, probably not that big of a deal. Moving on down, the trigger is a 2-stage Rock River trigger. I believe it's a 4-pound pull, and let me go ahead and rack it for you so you can see how amazing this pull is. And then the reset. Let me see if I can do this here. The reset is amazing. So here, let's see. So hopefully that showed up on camera. The trigger is phenomenal. I love it. A lot of people go and buy big, expensive, really nice triggers, and I'm sure they're nicer, but for what you get, the Rock River trigger is phenomenal. Nice and light and short pull, short reset. Also came standard with this weapon, this big old trigger guard. I wasn't a super big fan of it at first. It looked kind of ugly, but I like it now. It gives it a little bit more aggressive look. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you don't like it, it's easily swapped out for, a Magpul or whatever. Moving on, this is the grip it comes with. It is a Hope grip, or sorry, is that right? Ergo grip. Sorry, Ergo grip. It feels really, really, really well. It has a little bit of storage here in the bottom, and I'll rip that open for you so you can see it. I just keep a little bit of wadding in there, and then I also keep the tool to adjust the front elevation on my front iron sight there. The only thing that I do not like about this grip is that little rubber cover for the storage. It doesn't like to stay there sometimes. If you're running and gunning and it grabs on your belt or on your clothes or on the seat in your car, I have found this thing not attached, and I had to go hunt for it. And I didn't really like that, but that's the only real complaint I have about this. I know a lot of people, when they run this this grip, they just get rid of that and they don't utilize the storage there. And if you're going to do that, if you do not need the storage in there, I would say it's a fantastic grip, probably one of the best ones that you can get. Moving on, if you can see this right here at the base of the castle nut for the stock, I installed a Rock River's single point sling mount. It was pretty easy to install, pretty unpainful. I just used a vise and a Magwell tool and a castle nut wrench to bust that off there and put the new one on there. And I love it. It's right up against the back of the upper receiver. Perfect place for a single point sling. I can't say enough good things about it. I know some people use the sling mounts that come in the back of the stock. For me, I just feel like that makes the rifle sit a little bit too low on my body. But for you, you may like it. Who knows? I want to talk about the stock now. It's okay. You get a really nice cheek weld on it. It's I believe a 7-position adjustable on a commercial grade buffer tube. There is a difference. If you're out there buying aftermarket stocks, you do need to make sure that you either have a mil spec or a commercial. This one is a commercial. It's pretty nice. I do have a few gripes about this. Let me finish the good things. It does have the sling attachments. If you're running a 2-point sling, they're amazing. Also, it does have some storage here in the back. Let me see if I can get it on camera here. Not much. It's really only made for batteries, but hopefully you can see that on the screen there. They're on springs, which I really like, so when you pop the caps off, you don't have to go dig them out or anything. They just kind of pop out to you and you can take them. I do like that. Now, what do I not like about this stock? A couple of things. There's no friction lock, and it wobbles. I won't say it wobbles a lot, but it wobbles enough that I don't like it. When you shoulder the weapon, and if you're not pressing it nice and tight up against your shoulder, it wobbles a little bit. Also, this little hole here, I don't like this hole, and I know that it's on a lot of stocks. Some of the Magpuls don't have this, and I'll probably upgrade to the Magpul stock that has a little bit of storage. And so my video cut out. Apparently there's a time limit when you're making videos on your cell phone. I didn't know that, so here we are finishing the review. I believe I was talking about this hole that's on the stock. Let me just show it to you again here. My biggest gripe about that hole, when you shoulder the weapon and you put a nice cheek weld on it, it has a nice cheek weld, but then when you go to look up and look, when you're not looking down your sights, maybe you're looking down range, it pulls your beard hairs out, and I hate it. Maybe some of you guys who shave your face you probably won't find that issue, but those of us who look like children with shaved faces, you may find this to be an issue as well. So anyway, the Rock River Arm stock, not beard friendly. I ran through this whole gun and I totally forgot to talk about the handguard. So this weapon originally came with a carbine length quad rail handguard, and it's okay. It's definitely good quality. It's full floater, which is good, but I don't really like the quad rail. If you're not wearing gloves when you shoot the weapon, or if you don't have the rubber inserts, it cuts up your hands pretty good. It's super uncomfortable, and it doesn't offer you a whole lot of real estate. So I changed out the gas block. Like I said earlier, the other gas block had a sight on it and had some swivels. Changed out for a low pro gas block. This one's actually is a Rock River Arms gas block, so that I could run this Odin Works 15.5 inch key mod handguard. I'll show you really quick right there, Odin Works. I really like it, and I like to stay with gun fashion, and current gun fashion is to have a full-length handguard, and I like it. It doesn't weigh very much. I like it when you're out shooting because you don't accidentally burn yourself on the barrel. You know, people will say, well, how come you're paying attention? But, you know, stuff happens. You set it down, you're loading mags, and maybe your arm or something touches the barrel and it scorches you. But this provides a lot of protection, which I really like. Also, it reduces the overall profile. It's a whole lot skinnier, and it feels a lot nicer in the hands. I love the heck out of that handguard. Some of you may have never heard of Odin Works before. But you probably have heard of Troy Industries, or BCM Gunfighter. And I will say that this Odin Works handguard, I believe, as far as those two other companies, I'd say they're the same quality from what I can tell. Odin Works is not as prestiged of a company, or has not been around as long, but I'd say they have every bit as much of the quality. They're out of Boise, Idaho, and I come from there, so I'm okay with supporting a company from the homeland. So anyway, there's the review of the Rock River left-handed ultimate rifle. Well, for me it's ultimate, I guess. Anyway, I hope that you found this video informative. For me, when I was building this thing, or when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, I was out there searching YouTube, and there wasn't a whole lot of great information. So I hope that there's at least something on this weapon that helps you in your build. Anyway, that concludes the video. Thank you.